Let's start our recording and let's jump into today. So guys, like I said before, it's good to see you. I'm happy that everyone is turning out on a Monday for the online class. I know that it's a little rough, but we're just going to keep rolling with it. All right. So I was pretty encouraged by everyone's participation so far. All right. It seems like everyone is getting joined up, kind of figuring out Zoom. And remember that as you join in Zoom, make sure to mute up your mics, mute up your video, okay, as you join into any meetings, just to make sure you can figure out what's going on. And then if you have questions and stuff, you can always unmute and ask me, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. But guys, today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few different things. If you looked on Classroom, I posted our agenda for today, all right? And basically what we're going to do is we're going to continue along the same path that we've been learning about what life looked like after World War I, all right? But we're also going to sprinkle in a few housekeeping things, like making sure that we are all set up on Zoom, have our schedule all ironed out and ready to go, that we understand when assignments are due, all right? And so I want to show you a few different things today as we jump in and get started. But it looks like we have a wonderful turnout this morning. I'm happy to see everyone here, all right? Now, one thing I do want to add is that as people keep coming into the meeting, all right, I see that we have a constant kind of flow of people joining up. That's awesome. Make sure you mute up your mics there, Adam. All right. What I want to do is I want to show you, all right, and I'm going to share with you guys really quick on our screen what everything should look like in Google Classroom. So let's take a look at this. All right. So everyone should be seeing what I'm looking at here. So if we take a look, here's just an example of our world history classroom. It's the same for all classes now since we all meet together and we hang out and we answer questions and do that stuff. All right, so you can actually take a look and you can see everything that's posted. Here's today's Zoom meeting link so that you can attend class. I'm sure a lot of you guys found that, whether it be through here or through your email. All right, and then I've got our agenda and everything else. Now, this is also where I'm posting all of your assignments. Remember, I post our online office hours. I had a few students turn up and ask questions and do different things on office hours. That was awesome. Great to see it. I will post everything in Classroom. So if you ever have a question, you can always take a look at Classroom. All right. Now, another reminder, because some of us did a really good job of getting our assignments in, and other groups of us did not actually follow through with that. So let me remind you, and we're going to have a little bit of leniency for this first week, but it's going to have to be really structured as we move forward, all right? If you take a look at the classwork, whenever you enter my Google Classroom, guys, you can look at the upcoming tab over here, and it tells you what is due, what you have to have done and turned in by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Someone unmute and remind me, when is everything in this class due?
Saturday,
11:59. Every single assignment that we do throughout the week is due on Saturday so that you can get it done on your own time. But with that responsibility, you got to make sure you get it done. So when you come over here, you take a look at Classwork. This is also an awesome place to find all this stuff. It tells you when it's due, and it shows you all the assignments. All right, so follow along and make sure you follow through with that. If you're panicking because you're like, oh, I didn't do any of that stuff, all right? Make sure you get in and you get it done. Remember what my late procedure is that if you're turning it in late, you got to shoot me an email and say, okay, here's the deal. This is why it wasn't done, but I'm going to work and try to get better to make sure that I can get it done on time, all right? So work with me there. I'm going to be sending out some emails this afternoon to all of the students that have not turned in their work. So make sure you stay on top of it, get it done, and contact me if you have any problems, okay? Does anyone have any questions?
Mr. B.
What's up?
Does that include parents?
For the emails?
Yeah.
Not this first round. So if it goes too long without you turning it in, I will email your parents. But I want to trust you guys to be young adults and get it done on your own. So I'm going to email you and say, hey, this is not finished. It's got to get done. All right? It'll probably be like a mass email to everyone that doesn't have this assignment done. And I want you to go in and get it done. Make sense? Sweet.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So, like I said, today's class is going to be a pretty short class because I want to remind you of a few different things, all right? Where we left off last time in this class was this last assignment where we learned about what the West looked like after World War I. We filled this out. We actually had a little reading that we could see the different changes that were going on in places like the United States and in Europe where all of the allies were, right? Now, what we've learned so far after our World War I unit, which is where we left off before the whole coronavirus thing, right, is we talked about all of the different changes that happened after World War I. All right? So what we've learned so far is we've learned that there are big changes, okay? There are big changes after World War I. And you can write this down if you want to, but you don't really have to write this particular thing down, all right? So we've learned so far there are huge changes after World War I. We've learned that the Allies go through this thing that we call a boom, the Roaring Twenties, right? The Allies go through a boom. And a bunch of other countries see different types of changes. They're not quite as successful
Still sharing your screen
as the Allies, but they are making a move. Can you see me, guys? Let me stop the share real quick so you can take a look. All right, so this is what I'm writing here. All right, this is what we've learned so far as a class. Big changes after World War I. Thanks for letting me know about that, Tristan. All right. Allies go through a boom. A bunch of other countries, okay? A bunch of other countries experience changes. Change. All right? So these are the two major takeaways that we talked about in class as we completed some of these assignments. Now, one of the coolest things that we get to learn about during this class is the boom of the 1920s and how it leads us into these huge things that set the world up for actually World War II. So one thing that I've been kind of beaten to death that you've heard me say a lot is that the whole reason we talk about this stuff is because World War I basically leads directly into World War II. All of the lasting impacts and changes lead us to that time period where we see Hitler rise to power and we see the Japanese attack China and all of those different things. So we've talked a little bit about that, but I want to reinforce that today. All right? So before we move forward, does anyone have any questions? If you can't see this, I know it's a little tough to see, okay? I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to post it on Google Classroom so that you can understand what I wrote down.
Mister, can I leave, like, if we don't have any questions?
No, we're not done just quite yet.
No. Okay.
All right, so now, these are the things that we've talked about so far. I want to reinforce some of the things that we saw. So remember when I shared my screen, we took a look at this assignment right here, okay? The West between the wars. This is the last thing you filled out, all right, based on our last lecture that we had on Wednesday of last week. Now, today, we're going to reinforce those ideas, how these big changes made a huge impact on the world, especially in the United States. So to kind of set the tone, I want to show you guys really quick a little video that really helps to depict. This is actually from The Great Gatsby, the movie that came out, I think, in 2016 maybe. No, it would have come out a little bit before that. But anyway, The Great Gatsby is an awesome book by F. Scott Fitzgerald that talks about the Roaring Twenties. A lot of times, sophomores read this in high school. But this perfectly shows you the time period, this boom that we talk about in the 20s, that's going to lead to the 1930s, where we see huge things like the Great Depression. So let's watch this video real quick. I'm going to share my audio with you. Make sure we are ready to go. So, I'm going to push play. Tell me if you can hear this.
You see, the rest of New York simply came uninvited. The whole city packed into automobiles, and all weekend, every weekend, ended up at Gatsby's. And I mean everyone, from every walk of life, from every corner of New York City. This kaleidoscopic carnival spilled through Gatsby's door.
My invitation. Oh, just my throat. You don't need to know the guy. Certainly not my invitation.
A caravansary of billionaire Playboy publishers and their blonde nurses. Heiresses comparing inheritances on Gatsby's beach. My boss, Walter Chase, losing money at the roulette tables. Gossip columnists alongside gangsters and governors exchanging telephone numbers. Film stars, Broadway directors, morality protectors, high school defectors, and Ewing Klipspringer, dubious descendant of Beethoven.
You know where I might find the host, Mr. Gatsby? I live just next door.
Gatsby? I've never seen Mr. Gatsby, sir. Why, no one has.
Alone and a little embarrassed, I decided to get roaring drunk.
The incredible.
You're muted, Mr. Boyd.
Thanks for letting me know. I forgot that I muted that. Okay, so the reason that we stopped it right there is because I want to show you exactly all of these changes and things that really set the tone for the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties. The Great Gatsby is an awesome movie. Some of you might have seen it, some of you might have not. During all of this time that you have, during self-isolation, I would suggest watching it. It's a really good depiction of the 1920s. It's got a lot of cool modern music, but then also tells the story of what America was like during this time of boom. And so, to reinforce that idea and lead us into the changes of the 1930s, here's what we're going to do today, all right? Our assignment for today is really simple, but it's a little bit more time-consuming than some of the other assignments that we might have had in this class. So I want to reinforce what we're going to do, all right? So I'm going to share my screen once again with you really quick. Now, if you take a look, we're going to get out of Gatsby here. If it will let me. Okay. If you take a look on Classroom, I have posted, okay, this is what it looks like in the stream when you go on Classroom. I posted, hey, what's up, class? Here's what we're doing today. Here is the assignment for today that we're going to do, all right? You click on this. Mine looks a little different. Yours should look like this, okay? All you have to do is you find this assignment, read the description. I'm telling you exactly what you need to do. You need to click on this link. It's a short little about 40-minute video called 1920s Boom to Bust. And it tells you the story of what happens in the 20s that leads us right to the edge of the Great Depression, which is what we get to talk about in the rise of dictators next time we meet in class tomorrow at 11. All right? And so what you need to do for today is, because kind of our online class is going to be cut a little short, I want to give you plenty of time, all right, to watch this video. And then as you watch the video, what you're going to do is you're going to fill out this viewing guide. You should have a copy that's in Google Docs. All you have to do is answer the questions. And then once it's finished, you turn it into me. This is a really interesting video that gives you another picture of what the 20s looks like and how it takes us into the Depression of the 30s. So that being said, you take a look here. Make sure that in the stream you find the new assignment, 1920s Boom to Bust. When you click on it, you're going to have the YouTube link and you're going to have this, and you're going to fill this out as you watch the YouTube video. Now, does anyone have any questions for me before we are done and ready to go and you guys take away what you need to for the assignment?
No.
No question?
No, can I? Is that it?
It should be pretty sweet and pretty simple. If you do not have any questions,
Have a nice day.
good to go for today, guys. Yep. You can
Okay,
leave.
bye.
I'm gonna go eat some lunch.
See you later.
Stay healthy. Don't go out.
Wash your butts.
Don't open doorknobs with
He's
your mouth.
All right, bye, mister.
Bye,
See you tomorrow.
Hi.
Bye.
Good boy.
Okay, Don't forget to do the Google Calendar because I be sleeping.
Okay.
All right.
hamburger.
Bye. Okay.
Bye bye hamburger.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? You can stick around if you have questions, but if not,
What?
you're good to
I'll
go.
see you later, Mr. Boyd. I'll see you
See you
tomorrow.
later. Have fun. Watch your YouTube video. I'll see you tomorrow at 11.
I'm gonna get some lunch.
All right.
Do
See you,
that.
Mr. Boyd.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Stay healthy. Dom, turn your assignments in.
All right, I will.
Okay, good. Jesus, are you here?
Yeah,
Turn your assignments in.
I did.
Yeah, way late.
I
What's up with that?
just didn't feel like doing it.
Uh-huh. All right. Get this assignment done so you're ready for class tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Good to see you, bud. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.